같이 공부하자. This meeting is being live streamed. By saying this meeting, you consent to being live streamed. Anyone with access to the live stream can watch or share with others. Got it. Where's the pod squad? Pod squad 어디에요?
You didn't start the recording.
못했어요? 네, 감사합니다. 안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 나날라입니다. 미국에 살고 있는 GLEx2020 공동설립자입니다. GLEx2020 Global Language Exchange 라는 뜻이에요. 그리고 산치타랑 우리 팟캐스트는 2020년 만들었어요. 그리고 거의 금요일마다 팟캐스트 해요. 친구들이랑 여기 줌에 만나고 이야기해요. 시ker티님은 이 디자인 만들었어요. 레이븐이랑 만들었어요. Our weekly recording is every Friday, 11 p.m. Singapore time. Well, almost every Friday, I said. 거의 금요일. Almost every Friday. 거의 금요일마다. 싱가포르 시간 11시, 밤 11시예요. 그리고 우리 미팅 아이디는 똑같아요. 795-3031-0059. 비밀번호는 큰 P, 작은 OGSQUAD. What's-what? 우리 산치타님 없어요. 산치타님은 없어요. 이제 밥하고 일 하는 거 많아요. 그래서 우리 산치타는 금요일마다 못 만나요. You won't meet her every Friday. 하지만 가끔 올 거예요. She will come sometimes. 산치타는 인도 사람이고 건축가이고 프리랜서이고 많은 일하고 있어요. 우리 디자이너예요. 여기 우리 팟스쿼드이에요. 자기소개 해주세요. 시크티 씨, 엘리자베트 씨 어디에 갔어요?
I'm still here. I'm here.
자기소개 해주세요.
네. 안녕하세요. 저는 IT에서 엘리자베트입니다. 그리고 대학생입니다. 네. 네. I don't know what
IT는 여기 있어요? 여기?
네, 맞아요.
This
Like the small
area.
It's like the small island near Cuba.
여기?
아니요. A little bit like yes. Wait, like it's like there's like two islands. They're like the Dominican Republic. It's like on the right of Cuba, just exactly on the right.
작은 선이에요. Small island.
I mean, it's not really small compared to the island that you're pointing at, but yeah.
여기.
아니요. Like a little bit near Cuba, like way near Cuba. Just
We'll
you
just
see
have
Cuba.
to put a circle right here.
Let me just wait. Let me just circle it. Okay, it's like right here. Right.
I was way off. 여기 엘리자베트 씨 여기 있어요. Elizabeth's over here. 좋아요. 그리고 시크티 씨 자기소개해 주세요.
안녕하세요, 여러분. 저는 인도에서 살고 있는 시키티라고 합니다. 저는 학생입니다. 아니에요. graduate. 지금 학생 아니에요. 저는 no work, no student입니다. 지금 많이 rest 합니다. 그리고 캔바에서 그래픽 디자이닝만 너무 했습니다. 저는 언어 배우기는 stream이에서 한국어도 배우고 있습니다. 만나서 반갑습니다.
네, 반갑습니다. rest 합니다. 쉬어요.
쉬워요.
예, 쉬다.
네.
쉬어요.
네. 쉬다.
네. 많이
It
쉬어요.
feels weird. It feels weird to say 학생입니다. Like I
Right?
graduated and I'm not student anymore.
How do we say a graduate? I want to say 졸업? 아니야. 잠시만요. We'll look it up
네.
when we get to the discussion part. 한국 햄스터님 오셨네요. Christopher, 자기소개.
His mic is not connected yet.
Oh, mic is not connected yet. 네. Let me just thank our Patreon supporters. 감사합니다. We keep on going because of supporters like you. We've got Rose and Tina. Tina was our first supporter. We also have Sandy, who is a supporter. Marco, Zarina, Sam, and Denisa. Thank you very much for continuing to support us. And those who have previously supported us, thank you. All of that has been put into our account, and we're using that wisely. We only have our Zoom license as the thing we're paying for, and we have 2 of them so that we can have simultaneous broadcasts going on. Sometimes when I'm here, there's a class going on, or one of the volunteers is using the other Zoom room, and that allows us to do multiple things at once. At least 2 things at once. We no longer have any of this. We're all on High Local now. Our upcoming event is August 14th, our monthly cultural exchange. We are talking about accents and dialects. So possibly one of our Korean volunteers will talk about the Saturi all over Korea. And then we who speak English from different regions of the world, we'll talk about how do you say this in your language, or how do you say this in English where you live. And so that will be fun, comparing the words we use where we live. And we still have the Kika speech contest going on right now. Konyang University is sponsoring it. The due date is August 30th. Please go to kikaworld.or.kr and download the application from there and submit your video and essay before August 30th. Let's say August 25th, because you know how it goes. Something will happen, you can't submit it August 25th, and next thing you know, it's September 1st. So just aim for August 25th, and that way you can submit your essay. Christopher, are you here yet? Grammatical gender in languages. Ooh, interesting. Let's talk about it, Christopher. Let's make a slideshow. Do you have your audio up yet? Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself.
안녕하세요. 제 이름은 크리스토퍼예요. 파나로카라고도 불러도 돼요. 일본어, 한국어, 중국어, 프랑스어, 독일어하고 우크라이나어를 배우고 있고 가르치고 있어요. 제
네.
페이지하고 채널에 등록해 주세요.
네. 많은 언어를 할 수 있어요. We still have our EPS topic in 60. You can watch the replays at facebook.com/Korean EPS topic in 60. And of course, we're on 24/7 at the GLEx2020 cafe on High Local. https://highlocal.page.link/3 capital HF4. By the way, Panina said she watches our show every single time, but I haven't greeted her on YouTube, she said. So let me just send the link, this link to YouTube. Maybe they'll join us. Hold on. Okay. Escape. This one. I don't know if YouTube will allow me to, but here.
I think we can do like before. Share it in the comments and
Oh,
do
there's
it.
Karina. Karina, I finally greeted you. Click that link and come join us on stage. Okay. So if you're there, come join us.
I think to make it easier, you can put it as the profile description of GLEx2020 podcast on YouTube.
Oh, I can add it. How do I do that? I have to edit after.
Yeah, you can. I think you can do it after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, in the profile description of the thing.
좋아요. Okay, we're here. Every day is a new day to start a 30-day challenge. So join us. Today's topic. What was today's topic again? I said I would write it down. Never did.
Grammatical gender in languages.
Grammatical gender in languages. That's our topic for today.
Yeah.
I didn't look it up. Go ahead, Christopher. Take it away. Whoever prepared gets to lead.
A lot of languages have grammatical gender, especially Romance languages, the Germanic languages, and Slavic languages. English has grammatical gender too, to an extent.
Okay.
And let's say that you met this kid in your class. When you come home from school, you can tell your parents, hey, I met this kid in class. And they can ask, are they a boy or a girl? You just said kid. You can say, I met this boy, or I met this girl, or I met this kid. But in Spanish, if you say you met a niño, then they already know it's a boy. And if you say you met a niña, you already know, and they already know that it's a girl. And I guess you can try to keep it gender neutral by saying you met alguien especial. Somebody special. Like, conocí a alguien especial. Alguien is somebody. And then they can ask if it's a boy or a girl. The point is, the question of whether it's a boy or a girl you met wouldn't be asked in Spanish because the ending already dictates the gender.
Yeah, I'll write it in English and then we'll write it in Spanish.
And it's the same for other Romance languages too, such as French and Italian and Portuguese with the gender thing.
Met a kid at school, and in Spanish it would be, you would have to use,
Conocí a una niña or un niño
please write it
a
for
la
me.
escuela.
I don't Spanish. I don't speak Spanish. And what about in French, Elizabeth? Or in your native language, Chikati?
Okay, so I'm writing the Spanish now, and it's conocí a un niño. The default would be masculine. It defaults to the masculine gender. This is very important when it comes to the subject of plurals. Let's say there's a group of kids. We would call them niños. No matter how many of each gender, as long as one of them is a boy. If it's all boys, we say niños. If it's all girls, we say niñas. But if it's a group of boys and girls, then we still say niños with the OS. Masculine plural. And that can be a problem because of trans or non-binary identities. You're still just saying a group of boys. Whether it's one boy and a million girls or a million boys. As soon as the boy steps out of the picture and it's all girls again, then it's back to niñas. But what if people identify as trans or non-binary? Outside of the identity of male or female, how do we make a heavily gendered language gender neutral?
Yeah, how is that working out? I don't know anything about it. Elizabeth, are you there? Can you type it in French?
People have been using the letter X in place of O or A in typing. They also use the @ symbol, like in your Gmail account. Have at gmail.com, at Yahoo, that at.
How do they use that? Can you write an example?
Sure. So the thing about the @ symbol, why it's used, is because it's an A encircled by an O. It combines both shapes, the A shape and the O shape. So when typing, I see this a lot on Spanish-speaking social media. They use the @ sign to encapsulate both the A and O endings. Like niñ @ sign S. People have also been using the letter X, as I've said. There are people who say Latinx instead of Latino or Latina.
What about
And
identity
there are
theft and
also
security?
identities like like Latinx. Yeah, the phone is ringing. Let me go on mute.
Okay.
Oh, wait, it stopped.
Okay.
Don't need to mute.
So in the Spanish-speaking community, they use the at symbol,
Yes,
but in the US, we use X.
yes.
Let's see. What about in French? Hello, I can't talk.
And France, they use as you can see, I put like okay. Donc, j'ai rencontré un enfant à l'école. It's basically to represent the masculine is un, and for the feminine is une. And it's well, there's a lot of grammatical rules about this, but most of the time you would add an e at the end of the word, which would represent the feminine, but it really depends on the word. What else? There's also in the conjugation. So you have like the normal, like I, you, which is je, tu. And then when it comes to they, them, for example, it's il for masculine and elle for feminine. So it's basically based on that. So most of the words in French are either masculine or feminine. And yes, it's basically it. For example, in English, we're gonna say a table, but in French, it's gonna be une table, which means that the table is feminine in French. So
For like boys and girls, have you seen like a modification like the Spanish speakers put the at symbol?
yeah,
Or
like I said, for when it means when they want to express the feminine, they add an extra e at the end of the word. For example, okay, I have to look for an example. What word do they add an e at the end that makes like?
what about the example we have right now? Would they add an e right here?
Here, no. This is the problem with French. They won't. Because here un enfant is always masculine in French. So yeah, each word is like either masculine or either feminine. And verbs, you can modify verbs for it to turn feminine, depending on the case. I can't really explain it in details because the grammar is really like intense. I'm gonna say it like that. But yeah, they don't. I don't know how to explain it really. It's just it became so natural that I just don't know how to explain it. But yeah, they're not gonna say fun, because it's not correct because enfant is always masculine.
Hmm.
Yeah, so basically there's always each word is like categorized into like feminine or either masculine.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have neutral words? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I don't know why I'm thinking about German right now, but that's not what I want to think about. Yeah, but no, I really don't know how to explain it. I'm gonna have to review the grammar book for French if you want a good explanation on that.
No worries, no worries. We're just
Yeah.
trying to get the conversation going. What about Shikari? Do you have
What
masculine?
about for non-binary gender? Someone who identifies as the non-binary gender, is there a singular they? There's il, elle, but what's the gender neutral of il and elle?
Oh, so they added versatility. I don't know if it's confirmed that it's like really in the text because I don't really follow the French rules, but they use el, which is a combination of the two. My autocorrect wants to modify this. So they use this as a combination of il and el. So it's yel, basically, for they, them.
Oh, interesting. Good question, Christopher, and thank you for the answer.
No problem.
Shikari, are you still here?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I'm thinking of what should I say about like my mother tongue. I don't see any gender neutral thing. Usually for women, like older women, we say ame. If it's men, we say ataru. Respectfully for both women and men, we can say varu, varucharu, varuvellaru, so varu. I think
Probably something you never thought of in your
I
own
never
language.
thought of, and now I'm thinking like I never heard. I mean, all my knowledge and everything, like culturally or trying to understand the modern society, everything happened in English. And I mean, I speak my mother tongue at home, but even my friends, we never had this discussion. I'm like deeply thinking there might be words, but I don't know, so I don't want to give a random word. So basically, I don't know. Malayo. Like in the recent movies too, I never like there were movies about trans people, you know, but how do we address them? I never saw that because even the trans people, some of them, have their identity as women. So she or he, the same happens in my mother tongue, but I don't know. Mm. All of you are on mute, so I'm just speaking.
I'm listening. I was looking for Creole as well to see if there was a gender.
Yeah, I am Googling as well, but there's nothing on the internet here.
Like I have my little book with me, but they don't, like we don't have it in Creole. I don't think we have any gender.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the US is very concerned about this, being able to address someone with their gender, their correct gender and all that. But I never really heard of um, other places working hard to accommodate the people in their countries. The United States tends to be big on that, but then other countries are like, whatever, male, female, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I feel like here it is a big deal, and people can choose. My children often get mistaken for girls, because they have long hair. They would naturally go to that adult and say, "Did you just assume my gender?" And so here they can say that, but if they were in another country, like how would they be able to express themselves? Like they only speak English, and if they said that to an adult in another country, that adult might feel insulted, because the culture
Yeah.
elsewhere, you don't confront adults about my
Yeah.
children. They
Katie.
confront adults all the time
Yeah.
because that's how I'm trying to raise them. I want to raise them like that. And there is that nuance where they don't understand yet that in some cultures, the way that they talk to me is not acceptable. Like they can freely talk to me, they can express their words freely to me, but I do let them know, listen, some people do not appreciate this way of talking. The tone in your voice can be misconstrued as, aggressive and um, angry, and people will feel disrespected by that. I do explain that to them, but this is a safe place for them, and I want them to be able to express themselves. But it's really hard when my conditioning, which is, being raised in I don't know what kind of society, but where adults ruled and children needed to be quiet. When I get triggered, like, oh, when I was younger, I would have gotten in trouble for this. Um, then I have like this conflict in my mind, like how do I address my children like this? But in this case, the gendered language, my children will definitely say, "Did you just assume my gender because I have long hair?" I've heard it many times before. It's just, but we're in the United States, so it's a totally different thing. I bet if we lived somewhere else, their hair would not be as long as it is. They wouldn't have the freedom to have long hair, only because society would say to them, they would see it around
Not
them.
just society, schools have rules for
Mm,
the hairstyle for boys, like they shouldn't have the
right.
mustache, or not the mustache, sorry, the
Long
beard.
hair.
Yeah, the
Beard.
long
Oh,
hair and the beard.
yeah, here we have freedom to have long hair, short hair. The only thing they police here are women's clothing. Oh, you're wearing a tank top, it shows too much skin, it's distracting to boys, that kind of thing. Um, Meanwhile, boys can come to school with like practically half naked and it's okay. But girls, shirts and shorts are monitored. So yeah, Christopher, did you want to add anything else?
Yes, so I'm learning and teaching Ukrainian
Uh-huh. Do they have gendered
and
language?
German,
Mm.
and, and they have three genders. Some languages have three genders. Latin did, and now German and Ukrainian do, and Russian. They have, in addition to masculine and feminine, they have neuter.
So with regards to, boys and girls, do they have separate
There die
words
das.
too?
Yes, there's a word for boy, a word for girl, and a word for kid.
For German, I know Junge, Mädchen, Kind. But actually, Mädchen is neutral, not D, not feminine,
Wow,
right? Das
that's
Mädchen.
part of what makes it funny at times. The word for girl is a neuter noun, das
Yes.
Mädchen.
Yes. Der Junge, das Kind.
Yeah.
Do they have the thing where they talk about, like, doing something like this, changing it so that it indicates both boy or girl, or male or female? I don't know any in German. I think they just left it alone. Ich treffe ein Kind in der Schule. I,
The
I meet a kid at school for German.
they change ending. I forgot to mention the adjectives in gendered language. They match in the number and gender with what they describe. That's very interesting to segue into. Like masculine, we say hey guapo, or maybe that's probably not a good example. Because handsome, we have guapo, and pretty, we have bonita. And but we can use bonito for a man too. You can say guapo, guapa, bonito, bonita.
But that still has that O
But
and feminine, masculine.
yeah,
This is the part of language learning where it confuses me. Everything is das in German. I just leave everything neutral. And Marco Perexi, der, die.
yeah,
Every time I use das.
yeah. And the Ukrainian pronouns and all gendered pronouns, like in a language where there's gender, of course, the masculine pronoun means he, but it can also mean it
Hmm.
when referring to a grammatically masculine noun. Same with feminine pronouns and neuter pronouns. They take the place of the noun, so they match with the gender. Like with une table, la table in French, if you want to say, I like the table, it is pretty, it would be, I like the table, she is pretty.
Oh, yeah. The same in German, yeah.
Because la table is being replaced with L.
Mhm. That always confuses me. Everything is S, neutral, S. Assist, oops, assist. Thank goodness Korean doesn't have masculine and feminine.
I agree.
Yes. Oh, let's wrap it up.
Oh, what about Kul and Kunyo?
Kunyo, but they don't say
Kul
that.
and Kunyo.
Kunyon, kunyo. They don't normally say that. They would say the person's name, right? Like they try to avoid 당신 그 like that. They try to avoid that. They would rather repeat somebody's name over again than saying the pronouns. So the whole paragraph would have something like danalashinin, 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 rather than danalashinin, ku kunyonin, or yeah, they would rather repeat Ranella over and over rather than putting the word she. Kubunin. That person. No, they try to avoid it. Let's wrap it up here for today. I think this was a really good discussion. Let me take a screenshot. And on this, not this weekend, but the next weekend is when we have the, how do you say this in your language? And talking about English. I mean, how do you say it in English where you live? Because each one of us has a regional English pronunciation, right? So try to think, I'll try to think of a list. And so bring that list to the Zoom session next week, not this week, but next week, for on August 14th, so that we can see the differences among our regional English dialects, and also the Koreans will be talking about their Korean Saturi, their dialects of Korean all over Korea. So thanks guys for being here. 와주셔서 감사합니다.
네.
네.
Have
내일,
to say.
not 내일, 다음 주 만날 거예요. 뭐 이야기 뭐 해요?
Maybe we can do this regular thing. Like we will talk about the highlights of our previous week, like what we did, anything interesting or something happened in Korean. So we need to prepare first and come and try to say that, like not by hearting everything, but trying to remember the vocabulary and then use the grammar we know. So even if it's simple sentences, we will do. We can speak in Korean.
So like we do it in English one week and then the next week we talk about it in Korean?
No, like how we do with 대금총 총대금 선생님. We talk about the week highlights.
What did you do last week?
네.
네? Not like that? Okay, 좋아요. 해볼게요. I will try, and I'll try to make a new slide to include that. 네, 좋은 생각이에요. Thanks for the great idea.
네.
From Christopher-님, Sri-Kirti-님, Elizabeth-님, 와주셔서 감사합니다. I vacillate between 님 and she when calling you guys. Sometimes I just drop the honorifics altogether. 죄송해요.
괜찮아요.
괜찮아요.
Anayo.
I'm technically
daughter
younger, so it doesn't matter, to be honest.
My daughter said, you said you would cuddle me. I said I would bring the laptop to her, but I never did. Sorry, baby girl. My brain's now functioning properly. You know I was sick. Anyways, I will see you guys next week. And of course, during the week, we meet each other anyway. This is actually the end. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Don't forget to follow us on all social media. Thanks for being with us here at GLEx2020 podcast. And our guests, Christopher, Shikiti, and Elizabeth. Thank you for being here.
Ranelashi,
Ne.
the Christopher's toy is also saying goodbye.
Oh, Rascal. Goodbye, Rascal. What is a raccoon in Korean again?
No goodie.
No goodie. 네, 맞아요. Rascal는 no goodie예요. 또 만나요.
안녕.
네. Bye bye.
Bye bye.